Good afternoon. This is Satya from Bangalore, India. As a part of the SAIB Executive Coaching Series, we have with us our own you can say Coach Johnsy, who is actually a globally award winner and a excellent coach. I think have demonstrated cases of proving that an executive can become a board member very easily. I think he can tell you all the stories sooner. With that, as an intro at a high level, I'm excited to hear about how to actually lead discussions without having any power on the table, right? How can I make my point win even though I am not the leader of that group? That's really a complicated problem to solve. I think that's the point of view we pick it in this week's episode. With that said, I just introduce John C. And hi, John C. Over to you.
Thank you, Satya. A very, very warm welcome to each one of you. Thank you so much for being part of this session. Know that it's a Thursday afternoon time, but you chose to be here today. Really appreciate that. So let's get on with the presentation. We will cover at a high level how executive coaching transforms technical leaders into boardroom influencers. And specifically, we will cover a little bit more in detail today around influencing without authority. So, Satya, if you could take our audience through this slide, it would be helpful. Satya,
Yes.
you can take the audience through this slide.
To the directly to that the slide of executive coaching.
No, no, no. This slide, you can talk about this particular.
Okay, this problem you're saying. Okay, what's the problem like? Okay, so I just want to share my own story, right? So when I was actually at the middle year, um, I used to believe that I can do a lot, right? I can be a senior leader if I want to be, but I was not able to explain myself clearly. I used just to work and sit in the corner, right? A lot of people are like me, I guess. Over 60% of the mid-career engineers feel that despite of a strong performance, they are actually at their own state and they're not even able to grow to the next layer. Mainly, the expectation is that they want to become the senior leaders like VPs and CISOs, CIOs, CTO, etc. And that's the worry most people have, right? That's the key thing which we want to speak, and that's been seen in various workshop, various reports, research reports.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where does it come from? The first problem is the invisibility problem. That is not speaking up when required. A lot of times in the boardroom or even with clients, there will be a set of 10 or maybe 10 people or 8 to 10 people in the boardroom, in the meeting room, and somebody else speaks, but you don't speak, and that is a big no-no. So that is the invisibility problem we are talking about in this slide. Second, next.
I believe I feel the same actually. A lot of people don't even know I existed earlier, not now. Now everybody knows me by the way.
Yeah.
Go on.
Second one is the leadership. They absolutely see the dashboard, they see the numbers, but they don't see the engine. So many of us work in the background and they don't know who has worked in the background. So many of us are invisible to the senior management team. And if we want to move up the career ladder, we need to be visible. So we need to ensure that we are right there and visible for them. And the third thing is we are waiting to be invited instead of leading conversations. Let somebody else do, or can you talk, rather than proactively coming and presenting to the senior management team or the key stakeholders. So that is another challenge that the mid-career professionals typically face.
Yeah, that happens mostly also in virtual scenario today, right? You need to raise your hand up to talk. Most people continue to talk, continue to listen rather than raising their hand up and making that conversation to happen. In the hybrid world today, I think it's important that we make sure that our voice is heard. I'm absolutely with you.
Yeah. So the first was the invisibility problem. The second one is the influence problem. Now we have the dashboard, but a lot of time these are complicated dashboards. In today's world, our senior management team do not have time. We are pressed for time, so they want information at their fingertip. So the dashboards need to be simple enough for them to take action. What are these dashboards for them to take action, for them to take decisions. So it should be simple for them to take decisions. Also, the dashboard should be created in such a manner that it addresses the various stakeholders sitting in the room. The CEO wants different data, the CFO will want different data, the technology leader will want different data, the marketing leader will want different data. So we should be able to customize our data for the people sitting in the room. So make it simple.
Yeah, so I give you an example, right? So one of my CIO's dashboard. First time I was presenting to CIO, and I said, "We have 6,000 vulnerabilities." Okay, what does it mean? Are we doing better than yesterday? Are we at a higher risk today? Are we Have we done enough? Is the company at risk? The questions what he's asking is not visible in the dashboard what I was presenting. I was showing that vulnerabilities, this many vulnerabilities, etc. Sometimes we need to remember whom we are presenting based on the audience our dashboard should speak.
Yeah.
Absolutely with you.
Yeah. So I typically give one example. Now, if you are 100%, let's say the uh, customer satisfaction is 100%, you start saying it is 100, not a few other things, and then say, okay, our customer sat is 100%. Right? So what is important at that, for that leader, it should be shown right up front, not a
Absolutely.
set of data and then say, okay, this is 100%.
Yeah,
So, and
absolutely.
what does that 100% mean to the CFO or the CEO? That is something, we should call out in that particular slide itself.
I agree.
So the next one is relationship with stakeholders. Today, every organization has a lot of processes in place. Processes are good, but if you have relationship with the stakeholders, if you have relationship with other people in the organizations, you can get things done faster. So relationships can help you get things done faster, and this is a very important aspect when you want to influence without authority. Today we are in a metrics organization. One one individual could be reporting to multiple people, dotted, direct, and and that's the kind of organization structure many organizations have. So who is the real decision maker, we might not even know at some point of time. So building these relationships with stakeholders help us understand how and how to present and what they need. So such relationships can help us take decisions faster, and uh, help us with what we want to achieve from them. Any thoughts on that, Satya?
Yeah, so one is, I think you got this Guinness Book of World Records for that speed networking. That happens a lot of time. Congratulations for that.
Thank you.
So networking, right? You can do 100, talk to 100 people, but have you made relationship, proper conversation with one person or two persons or three? That That's what matters. Have you really created some kind of mark so that they remember you? Next time you go, yeah, that's the person I spoken with. Otherwise, it goes in a jiffy, right? They don't even remember you. So I agree with you. And also, knowing the stakeholders is very important in the today's world. Sometimes you don't even know who is the stakeholder. They might be sitting next to you. So, and you might be talking all things. So when we have done an event in university, we said, guys, just remember, this is not your standard college professors or principals here. Around 40 of the employers are sitting around you. Just remember, don't act differently, right? So need to know who are the stakeholders sitting around you, walking around you, to build that relationship.
Yeah, let's stay on that. I think you brought an important topic around networking. Let me just build on that little bit because it is related to what we are talking about, the relationship. In general, when we hear the word networking, the first thing which comes to our mind is exchanging of business cards. Right? People are exchanging business cards and moving from one person to other person. So if you are in 100 people room, it is about exchanging how many big business cards we can exchange. But let me redefine networking. Networking, it is the art of building and nurturing reciprocal relationships. I repeat that. Networking is the art of building and nurturing reciprocal relationships. So it is not about the quantity of the number of people you meet. As Satya just said, it is the quality of the relationships that you can build. So that is the number one aspect, the quality of the relationship. Second, if you want to influence people in your organization, you need to build that relationship. But if you are networking and if you are always, if you're going to them with only the mindset of getting something from them, taking some help from them, they may not be interested because who are you, why should I help you? I mean, that could be the thought process. But if you start being a giver first, if you help them first in some area, that is where they will want to help you back at some point of time. So always go with a giver's mind, build that relationship so that you can nurture that relationship for the future. So networking is the art of building and nurturing reciprocal relationships. Both the parties should benefit from each other. That's the way we need to build our network, and that's how we can influence uh, people in the organization. Next slide. The other challenge mid-career professionals face, the lack of the right language to be used for return of investments. We typically use technical language rather than numbers. Similarly, lack of the right language for the risk that the organization face. Satya just gave you an example around that. And the third is lack of the right language to influence the respective business heads. Like I said earlier, what a CFO wants to hear is different from what a marketing head will want to hear. So using that right language is important. Next slide. Now, what I would like to share are three secrets to move to senior leadership roles. The first one is the mindset. We need to move away from the technical fix mindset to solving for the business problem. Let's understand this part. All the technology is to solve a business problem, a customer's problem. So the leaders, they are looking at solving customers problem. So when you are having a conversation with your leader, always have that in your mind. Their worry is my customer's problem getting solved, not about what complex technology or simple technology you are using. That's secondary at that point of time. It's about, is my customer's problem getting solved? So Your technical solution which you're providing or the technology talk you're having should be around the business challenge the customer is facing or towards solving that problem. So we need to move away from that technology fixed mindset to solving business problem mindset.
I This is a major problem with the mid, not just mid level, but even the senior level. Uh, the I mean, I'm speaking about cybersecurity world, right? So we tend to work with technology solutions first. But let's say you have a problem immediately. Okay, let me talk to this vendor, that vendor, before clarifying what exactly is the problem you want to solve. What are the real problems I need to solve? Let's say endpoint security. There might be a product which can actually give 100 different things under that, or actually your speaking is just one piece and one piece. But we need to, once we have the clarity, you can actually significantly reduce the cost of the product as well as the solution, and even you negotiate better, and even you can get the budget easily. Most cases, I'm using we word because I'm part of the same fraternity. We tend to go with products rather than the business problem we are solving. I think we should be on the left side. I think we are asking everybody to move shift left. We should also think on the shift left strategy, business first.
Yeah. And the second mindset, previous slide. So a lot of time, mid-career professionals are looking at getting rewarded. I've done some work. I need the appreciation. Nobody has appreciated me. Nobody has rewarded me. We need to move away from that mindset to how you are shaping organizational direction. Are you in alignment with what the business objectives are? And are you doing things in alignment with that? Your small work, yes, it's absolutely important, but the leadership is looking at, are the organizational challenges being addressed or the customers challenges being addressed, as I said earlier. So your language has to be around that, your mindset has to be around that. So when we are young, when we started our career, yes, we needed that appreciation. We need to move away from that. Yes, we need appreciation, but do not expect that for every single thing you do and every single day.
Not only that, you get it only when you don't expect. When you expect, it never happens.
Good one. So the next one is the business influence code. We have briefly touched that part. So we need to move from a technical message to business impact kind of a message, which can help trigger decisions. The technical message has to move into a decision trigger point. Let's take some examples. Next slide. So here is one example which we have put. Generally, rather than saying we need 2 crores to upgrade our endpoint protection system, the language which you use need to change to something similar like our current endpoint setup exposes us to ransomware risk that could cause 3 to 5 days of downtime, an estimated 6 to 8 crore in revenue loss. So this 2 crore investment secures business continuity, reduces regulatory risk, and safeguards brand trust. Now we are addressing various different people by this one message, right? We are talking about how the downtime can be reduced, the revenue loss, the CFO, CEO would be interested to hear that. Business continuity reduces regulatory risk. Our the entire legal team would be interested in that. CEO would be interested in that, and safeguards brand trust. The whole branding team would be interested in that. So the language which we need to use should change. So by using this kind of influential language, we are moving away from a cost center to becoming a business protector and a business enabler. One of the key challenges with GCCs and technology backends are that departments are facing. They're called a cost center. So rather than being calling yourself a cost center, become a business enabler. And this change of language can help you get there.
Absolutely. And this is one of the most important call out for all the business leaders in cyber and tech. Right? When we go for investment, the other person who is signing up, majorly mostly CFO or CEO, right? They don't understand the technical terms. What they understand is it actually addressing my top line or bottom line, right? Just talk to that, right? So what we are speaking here is it's a top line hitting, your risk will increase, so your business will go down, or you are saying that the I will reduce the cost significantly. You speak in the terms, that's when they pay, right? Otherwise you won't get this your investment or support what is required in cases of any initiative you are bringing. It could be transition, transformational, includes cybersecurity as well. So that most cases, as you rightly mentioned, people end up with saying, "I will be able to address the endpoint vulnerabilities from significantly high, and there will be reduced cyber attacks." So what does it mean, really, right? Your example is very clear call out,
Yeah.
Chansey.
One more example like that.
Okay.
Rather than using a technical language of we need to migrate workloads to a multi-cloud setup and automated provisioning, by optimizing our cloud architecture, we can reduce infrastructure costs by 20%. 20% and accelerate product deployment cycle by 40% and improve the uptime from 99.5% to 99.95%. And this itself can help save x amount of money.
Yep.
This directly contributes to faster revenue realization and better customer satisfaction. So again, you are moving from a tech center to how you are driving profitability for yourself.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So that was the business influence language we need to use. Now the third secret is about yourself, how you are carrying yourself. That's executive presence shift. So you can't influence if you don't speak and present confidently. So let's explore this further. What is executive presence? Next slide. So executive presence, in simpler term, is your ability to inspire confidence in others that you can deliver results. I repeat, your ability to inspire confidence in others that you can deliver results. And where is that coming from? So I'm sure you would have seen people walking into a boardroom. When they walk into the room, you feel that yes, this person can take care of this. You give that in they have that invisible aura in them, which we feel. And that is what we call as the executive presence. Next slide. So there are actually three pillars to developing executive presence. The first one is gravitas, is about how you act. The second is communication, what you speak and how you speak. And the third is appearance, how you look and how you are perceived by other people. So let's explore that further. Gravitas is having gravitas at work means you are taken seriously, your contributions are considered important, and you are trusted and respected. Now, earlier we spoke about influencing without authority. And if you want to be influenced without authority, you need to be trusted, you need to be respected. So, how do you earn this trust and respect? You cannot earn that just in one go. And it is something which you need to build over a period of time. It starts from building the relationship, it starts from there. And then you need to get into personal branding for that to happen. Because if you want to trust somebody, and if somebody else tells you that, yes, this person is trustable, trustworthy, you automatically try to trust that person. And that comes into your mind. Yes, okay, I heard that this person is trustworthy. So then, how the respect part of it, you give respect, you earn respect, right? And we will also see how others are, the other person is behaving with the rest of the organization. So all these elements come into picture when you want to influence without authority. So how do you develop gravitas? The first one is by being more empathetic. Lead with empathy. A few years ago, I asked one of the leaders in the industry, it was a finance leader, and I asked this question: if you were to talk about one leadership skill every leader should have, and what should be the one which is there on top? The answer came in a jiffy: empathetic leadership. So, empathy with people is very important. The second, we are working in high pressure situation. So how do we maintain calmness in high pressure situation? If if you are somebody who gets worked up because of all the issues happening around, people will find it difficult to be with you. So maintaining that calmness is important. Third is making faster decisions. People don't like to work with people who don't take decisions. We want decisions so that we can move forward. The fourth is speaking the truth and demonstrating the integrity. Once the trust is lost, it becomes extremely difficult for that to be rebuilt. So, demonstrating that integrity in all your action is important. Speaking with authority and conviction. People will respect people who speak with that authority and conviction. It is not about bossing around. It is about conveying, communicating with authority and saying, hey, this is the way to go because I have worked on this in the past and this is the way to go. You will get the result. So, when you speak with authority and conviction, others love that. And last but not the least is about humility and likability. Being humble as a leader is important. Sometimes we think all the people who are a little arrogant and if they shout at other people they can grow in the organization. Those days are all gone. That was when the talent was less, you are forced to promote people. Today you are looking at leaders who can lead other people, and for that, being humble, that humility is important. And likability, people like to work with people they like, and especially today's younger generation. And if they don't like something, they don't even think twice. So being likable as a leader is important. So to say that you have executive presence, the key component is gravitas, and these are some of the elements you need to work towards to gain that.
So,
Anything?
one question here, right? So, speaking with authority versus humility. Sometimes speaking with authority is seen as aggressiveness. How do you balance that?
And that is where the tone of language comes into picture.
Right.
Okay? And that's the second part we want to talk about.
Excellent, excellent. Go
Yeah.
on.
So here is where it comes. So the second element of executive presence is communication. What you speak and how you speak. The research says there are three critical elements in communication and influential communication: the words that we use, the tone of voice, and body language. And surprisingly, body language constitutes to 55% of influential communication, and
Absolutely.
38% is contributed by the tone of voice, and the words contribute to only 7%. And that, next slide please. And that says that when we want to move into influential communication, our body language, learning how to communicate with the right body language is important. The tone of voice is important. Hey, the you need to understand that the body language constitutes to 55%. And if I start talking like that, you know, people will have a problem. People who is listening will have a problem. At the same time, if I talk something like this, there are three critical elements to communication: words, body language, tone of voice. Words contribute to 7%, tone of voice contribute to 38%, body language contributes to 55%. In 5 minutes time, everybody will go to sleep, right? So we need to learn the art of how to communicate so that you can influence the people sitting on the other side.
Absolutely. Great way of narrating that. Thank you.
Other element is the body posture. If you sit like this and you can see the picture shown over there, same person, and the extreme right, that body posture shows how confidently that person is sitting. So body posture is crucial as it communicates confidence, authority, and engagement, shaping how others perceive you. So without our knowledge, if we slouch and sit or use gestures which is not welcoming, that that is not going to contribute to positive executive presence. So body posture is also very important.
Even the hand movement in some countries, you need
Yeah,
to be careful on some hand movements. Something like this. This is zero, but that's different in different organizations.
yeah.
So I just want to call that out as well.
Yes, and it's similarly, let's say you're talking from the stage, and you say, no, you say it instead of saying, would you
Yeah.
like to share?
Yeah.
It has a completely different way of accepting and influencing the person on the other side. So body
Absolutely.
language hence contributes a lot over there. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And the last pillar is the appearance, how you look and how you are perceived. See, we form an opinion about a person even before they speak, purely on the basis of how they are dressed and groomed.
Hmm.
It has nothing to do with the features you are born with.
Hmm.
I typically take this example of interviewer and interviewee. We are going to interview someone, and that person walks in shabbily dressed. We form an opinion about that person, saying, hey, the person is not respecting me, not respecting the company, the person doesn't seem to be serious. We form some perception opinion in our mind. Now it takes a lot of effort from that person to uh, to say that, hey, I am the right candidate for this role. They have to do a lot of positive things for the interviewer to feel that, hey, that person is the right person. While at the same time, if you walk into the room well dressed, well groomed, you are already creating a positive feeling in the mind of the interviewer, and you need to do something really horrible for that person to think that you are not the right person. And that's the difference it makes about grooming and dressing. A lot of people take this don't take this seriously, saying that, hey, our office, it's a casual culture, so I will come in a casual and in a casual attire. Well, it is okay for for a regular day, but when you're walking into a serious conversation, and if you walk in like that, these perceptions which goes in the mind of people, you can't control. Okay, so that
Agree.
is where we need to be careful.
Agree.
um, Now, before we go there, about influencing without authority, I want to talk about one more thing. If we want to influence somebody without authority, the other important element is your expertise. It is not your hierarchy, but it is your expertise. Now, today, the world is changing. There's a lot we need to learn, but people respect somebody who has deep expertise in one area.
Agree.
So, developing, being an expert in one area, one domain, and having wider knowledge is a better thing than You know a lot of things, but you don't have depth in any area. So to influence people, others, and if you don't have the authority, then that knowledge comes into picture. The second element is, like I said, you might be an expert in one area, you might have some broader knowledge in other areas. So what happens if you need to work in other areas? Then you take the help of your team, take the help of other experts, and try to influence your customer or the stakeholder involved. That is another area you need to look at when you are talking about influencing without authority. And one more thing which I want to talk about is, a lot of time, if we want to influence someone else in the organization without authority, there should be a reason why they should do it.
Yep.
What is important for them? Why should they be doing it? So we should be able to articulate that to that person about, hey, this, if we all do it together, this is the wider goal which we are going to achieve, and your benefit is going to be this. So we should be able to articulate the value benefit that person is going to get, not about a you need to do this kind of an approach.
Yeah, I think this message is completely well resonating, mainly with again cybersecurity community. See what maybe applicable to other people too, right? So what happens in our case, majority of the time is we need to get things done in different departments other than us. Most of the cases, we do not have any authority. Let's say I need to implement patches in IT. That's done by IT management, IT team, right? And I need developers to follow the secure guidelines of development. That is under developers. And if I want actually the cloud to be securely handled, then that's under cloud engineering team. So all these departments have their own objectives, their own bit of work to do. They have their own pains to go through, right? I should understand that. So how do I bring them all onto my radar? Hey guys, this is important, this is your responsibility too. I can't say, hey man, this is your responsibility. You must do it. Nobody will do it, obviously, as you rightly said. But the key to address that problem is, as you rightly said, identifying the common goal we are trying to achieve. Right? The common goal, per se, for developers is: do you want to rerun the entire product, entire code again? Do you want to code it again? Because I'm going to fail you in the end anyway. It's better that you fix it now than you save the cycles, right? So do the things fast. That's what shift left means. I'm just giving an example, but the idea here is, when you find a goal that interests to them, and also the larger organizational goal, that's when this happens. And we need as many champions as we need to get to where you want to be. If you want to become a leader in future, you need to influence not just immediate peers and your team members, but also the outsiders, stakeholders with whom you need to get the things done.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I'm with you on that common goal setting and ability to inspire them to do achieve something bigger than what they're doing. Speak
absolutely.
about the bigger things. There are bigger things than what you are regularly doing, right? So make them champions. Give them that play card that you can showcase that I am the champion.
Yeah.
That helps.
Yeah. So I'll just give a simple example. Let's say you are working in the healthcare industry and you are a software developer doing something for the healthcare industry. Rather than just saying that you need to your code, if it is deployed by this time, it will uh, we can launch on December 31st. Okay, rather than saying something like that, you say, if you take this approach, it can save the life of 1,000 people.
Right.
Give them that larger purpose in mind.
Agree. Agree.
When you have that kind of conversation, the thinking changes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Okay.
Right. So you all have been listening to us. So how many of you realize that there is a lot to learn for you to move into a leadership role. Right? So here are some of the uh, transformations we have been able to make with some leaders in the past. Next slide, please. So this is Pankaj Pofle. Uh, he was a general manager at HSBC. He went through executive coaching program, and he moved from that role to a CTO role and a CIO of the company in just 2 years' time. And that's the transformation executive coaching can make to people. He says it helped my stakeholder management and strategic thinking skills, got promoted as a CTO. Later, he became as a CIO in just about 2 years' time. One more example. This is Shivakumar Hosangadi. He says executive coaching has helped improve my executive presence and presentation skills. It improved my presentation with the senior management team. That's what he had told me, and also helped improve the conflict management at work front. So executive coaching helps you improve the conflict management. And one of the things, Satya, which I tell everyone is every organization is designed for conflict. Every department is designed for conflict. A quality control team is in conflict with the R&D team. The product management team might have some conflict with the sales team. The finance team might have a conflict with the HR team, right? So organizations are built for these conflicts so that one check, the check is there, between
Maker
organizations.
and checker. Yep.
So that is part of the organizational design, and we need to learn how to manage that conflict. So executive coaching helps you in that. Let me give you one more example. This is about Ishita Priyadarshini. She was a India UX lead for Google. Now she is a UX leader for Microsoft. And one of the things she had mentioned is the executive coaching help is the third paragraph. Executive coaching helped me focus on developing conscious attention to my core motivations in life. This in turn resulted in me making tough decisions more easily and feeling unstuck in day-to-day work. Sometimes we feel stuck in our day-to-day work, and executive coaching help you overcome that. Next slide. This is a case of Gaurav Rishi. He's based out of US. He moved from a senior manager to an associate director to director in just 2 years' time. So executive coaching helps you fast track the promotions in the organization. Next slide. So, how does executive coaching help you? It will help you identify the blind spots that limits the leadership growth. Each one of us has blind spots, something we don't know about ourselves. When you go through an executive coaching program, it will help you identify that and help you overcome that faster. It will help you build your skills to influence without authority. It will strengthen your executive presence and leadership confidence. It will transform your ordinary communication into a board level influence, board level language. It will help you develop strategic thinking capability instead of the operational and technical thinking. So you're changing as a person to move into the next level, and it will change you from a personal perspective, and it will help you build some skills required to move into the senior leadership roles. So, Satya, if you could take over from here and talk about uh, what are some of the what's the program we have designed. So, one thing I can tell is that if you don't take this action today, next slide, please. If you don't take this action today, you will continue to remain in the same role while others will move up. And if you don't take action and develop your skills, you become irrelevant for the organization. Today we are living in a world where there is a lot of influx of people into the industry, and if you remain where you are, they are going to push you out. So that is the risk you will face if you don't take action. And that's why we have designed this program, and Satya will talk more about it.
So I think you heard from John C about how this helps as a overall. So I just give you at a high level of what the program is. The program is actually designed to work with individuals to help you understand your own what you can say strengths and take it from there. This is a journey from becoming engineer to executive, right? It is it's a mutual we can say partnership between coach John C, led by John C himself, and CSA Bangalore chapter. So in collaboration we are handling this. Why are we doing it? Why are we doing this workshop, right? So that's the key thing which all of you might be thinking, right? So the reason why we are doing this exercise is about um, leadership. We are in the age of AI, right? Where we require more than technical skills. For technical skills, anyway, we have people, right? We already have things already planned in. So why do we need people for that case? So where you the differentiation come from the technical skill. The technical skills actually creates the difference, but doesn't take you to the next level. What is that next level? Next level requires influencing, next level requires agility, having that strategic clarity which we spoke about earlier. All that, sorry, just give me 1 minute. So all these things come together where you get that advancement to the next layer. What we observe most cases is people have a great technical knowledge, but they cannot put together the stories properly. How can they do it? They can get benefited by having that soft skill development, which is the executive coaching we are speaking about, which actually helps you elevate your technical skills which you already have, and you can put your perspective in a definitely in a better way and move ahead faster. That's the idea the training is for. And who is this for? I think all people who are looking for senior leaders. However, we have listed a good number of names here, right? All the way from engineers to architects to tech leads to women. Everyone who is pursuing for senior leaders can get benefited by understanding their own soft skills and how do you show yourself in a better way with executive presence, mindset changing, and various aspects which I'll just speak about. So, what are the outcomes you will walk away with after the session? It's about how do you communicate to the strategic way for leadership. The key here is it's not that you're not communicating already, you're always communicating, but how do you make it highly strategic in nature? Second, how can I convert my technical presentations in a business orientation way? I think we have taken some example. And then how do you build that influential conversations between the stakeholders and board level, right? And key thing is decision making, taking the decision making not based on the technical metrics but risk based, so that your rationale is oriented towards, as we earlier mentioned, top line and bottom line, right? So that's the way of life you will learn. And leadership presence and personal brand, right? Leadership presence and personal brand doesn't come generally natural for few. So it's important that you practice and follow that gravitas which we spoke about earlier, and presence of how you sit, how you stand, how you talk, all that, right? All of that comes under the executive presence. And then how do you build that relationship which lasts longer and have that influence beyond your direct control? So we do have the program curriculum which covers these skills what we mentioned, which covers like engineering shift from execution to strategy, and also basics of how do you speak security and technology in business terms, executive communication, decision making, um, cross-functional leadership, boardroom readiness, and how do you lead people, and how do you manage culture. And we'll actually close with the capstone. But throughout the curriculum, how we are planning is, you will have, I think you already have a certified coach, and I think, and we are planning to have additional CXOs, but I'm there with you. And then CX cohort, we will have a cohort based learning where you will learn in group, which is by the peer learning you get in, and what else you get it. So we go with a case studies based or workshop based discussion, which helps you understand the focus discussions and convert the use cases into the conversations, so that it is more practical in nature, so that you can practice. That's what makes it different, right? The key differentiation here is the executive career is coaching done by a certified executive coach and also senior leaders, right? As I earlier mentioned, it will have a course which will have a lot of assignments, which will be reflective in nature. Idea here is to do it weekly session, so that you have something to do during the week, and you just come to the session, have that discussion, and practice it, and again come to next week. Like that, we have a 10-week session. And there is an immersive session we are planning to have it in a physical location where all the cohort members can meet. And in the end, you will have a CXO ready certification by CSA Bangalore and Coach Johnsy, which will be very verifiable, which you can use it as a verified badge, right? So that is what we have. And there is one more option, that as I just mentioned, we have a certified coach with us. If you like, you can have a one-on-one career coaching, because you might require something you want to personally discuss, personally develop, instead of discussing in the groups. For that, there is an optional add-on available. For that, we will connect to John C, and he can help you out on the program. So when is it starting? It is starting on January 23rd. The session is open, and I suggest you to go ahead and register if you are interested. But if you need more information, write to us on support@csabangalorechapter.com. Right. So if you are interested, this is the QR code. Go ahead and register, so that we can come back to you and give you more information. With that said, thank you very much. Back to the screens, John C. I think we are done for today. I'll just see whether there are any questions and comments. I think we covered majority of them. I think the questions what or comments what we are seeing. I think we are good to proceed. But before closing, you have any closing comments?
Executive presence will take you to the next level in the organization. And for learning that executive presence, executive coaching is important, because you will understand what are your blind spots, and that realization comes through executive coaching. So go for this.
Thank you very much. It's a great session. Appreciate your time, John C. Thank you everyone for listening. Looking forward to meet you next in the next session. Have a good day.